So welcome back, guys. If you saw on the last video where we extracted all of the honey, I mentioned that we're back home for a little visit, and this is the last day of the visit. We got several things to do, and let's see what we can get done today. First of all, though, I've got the honeybees out here cleaning up all of the mess that we created when I extracted all the honey. Let's see what kind of progress they're making. My goodness. So the bees are working very hard getting that stuff cleaned up, but I want them to get a little bit cleaner before I try to put that back on the beehives. So let's see if we can get some mowing with the tractor done. Go ahead and start on this field right here first. This field last year, at least in part of the field, had millet and sorghum planted in it, and this is kind of what's left over from that. That'll be some decent organic matter just to kind of build the soil up in this field. But really one of my main goals aside from getting this raggedy looking field looking a lot better, is to get these clover pods, these dead clover pods dispersed throughout the field so that hopefully we can have a good reseeded clover field out here, and maybe next year we'll have a nice stand of clover. So let's go ahead and knock out this field. Well, guys, at this point I've moved on to another field, and I made a few passes here, and this field right here is the kind of field that can really mess up your tractor if you let it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a very thick field right here, and it's full of stuff like this. This is a little blue stem grass right here. This right here, of course, these are little dandelions right here. Stuff like that that can put out junk like this. And let me show you why that's a serious problem for a tractor. Right off the bat here we can see the dandelion seeds, all kind of little particulates, seeds, pieces of, I guess there's pieces of grass and junk in here too. Just all kinds of stuff that can block airflow. But it gets worse. The radiator on this tractor, of course, sits right here, and Kubota has got this handy dandy little screen installed here just for such an occasion. All of this garbage can get plugged up in this screen right here and block airflow to the radiator and cause an engine overheat. And look at all the stuff that's already there, because this is several fields worth of garbage right here. There we go. That screen is very, very helpful because you do not want that stuff to get lodged in these cooling fins in the radiator here. That's when you start having some serious issues. And I have had this tractor overheat from this exact field before. I think it was a couple of years ago. I was going along and alarms started going off and lights on the dash started flashing, and it was overheating. The temperature gauge was going up a little bit too high. I think it may have made it into the red. So I switched it off, pulled this out, and cleaned it off. It was totally clogged up, and cranked it back up. The temperature went down and it was fine. So this is one of those things you have to watch out for, and it's good to keep this thing cleaned out before it becomes a problem. Of course, it would be best if I had access to an air compressor right now just to blow all of this stuff out, but I don't have that right now, so we're just going to kind of put a band-aid on it and keep going. Now it looks like we're kind of past the season where the little blue stem grass puts out its seeds in certain times of the year. I guess it's just in the spring. They put out these little seed pods that look a lot like this, except they're a little bit smaller and a little bit finer. So it doesn't look like little blue stem is going to be a huge deal unless we get a whole lot of the tiny little pieces of the grass itself. But of course, we still got to deal with stuff like this. And as you can see, there's plenty of trash out here to clog up a radiator screen. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Let's see if we can finish this field, and we'll see what it looks like after we get done. That big tall area right in the middle is actually a trash pile that has grown up. It really needs to be burned, but that's what that is. But yeah, you can actually walk through here now and not be worried about stepping on a rattlesnake. Let's go check how much trash the machine sucked into the radiator screen there. See, look at, ooh, that's hot too. Look at that. Just that small amount of mowing gave us all of this junk right here. This screen is a handy thing. I know a lot of tractors have this kind of thing. It's not just Kubotas, but yeah. Just keep a check on your screens, keep a check on your radiators, blow those fins out as often as you need to, or your machine will overheat. And it's okay if you catch it in time, if it starts overheating and you catch it in time, but man, if you don't, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. Go. There we go. All right, put it on down like this. Remember how to take off? All right, push that hold it up, son. Hold it up, son. Push that up arrow right there. And now slide that to the right. There it is. Alright, let's get a little farther away from it.
Was that backwards or forward?
That was backwards.
Thumbs up.
Alright guys, so this is going to be the final task on this video. We need to put these, I think I got a grasshopper on my leg there. We need to put these boxes back on these beehives. I'm just going to put one box per hive, and this may be a little bit foolish, but this should be a pretty quick operation, so I'm not going to put my suit on or anything. I'm just going to get some smoke going, pop the lids off, put the box on top, put the lid back on, and be done. Sometimes this works okay, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see what happens. Don't have this lit quite right. So I've got some particular concerns over this hive. The way that the bees are going in and out, it's more of the end of a robbing situation than it is actually a healthy hive with bees going back and forth. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna find in here. I do know this hive has got some mite issues. They're acting okay on the inside and they sound okay. Let's go down one more box and see what they're looking like. Yeah guys, this box is done for. They were having some mite issues, but I didn't know they were this bad. They're done. The bees are gone. We've got some small hive beetle larvae that has already hatched, and it's all in the frames. I'm going to see if I can get these set up somewhere so that the bees can get the honey out of these so we don't have a complete waste here. Well, that's a bummer. I know this hive is in good shape. They're acting very healthy on the outside. Well guys, I just took this box apart too, and there's not a lot going on in this box either. This is a little disheartening. I'm gonna go through the rest of these and then I'll talk about what I think possibly has happened, or at least some ideas. I'm not totally sure here. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I hate to end this video on kind of a bummer of a note there, because of course my hope was we could just put those boxes back on those hives and everything would be just fantastic, right? But it didn't quite work out that way, unfortunately. So what I believe happened, and it ended up being 2 hives, unfortunately I lost 2 hives out of 5, and I believe what happened was, if you remember on the last video, I pulled some of the frames out of that one hive and I showed y'all that there were some mite issues going on in the hive. There was some dead brood, there were some deformed wings. It was just not a great looking situation. But I didn't think it was something that could not be overcome. I really thought that it would be fine to get some mite treatment in those hives and they would probably be okay. But when I opened up the hives, apparently right now we must be in a dearth around here, which means there's not blooms, there's not nectar coming in the woods for the bees to go out and gather. And when that happens, the likelihood of a robbing situation goes way, way up. And I believe that that's what happened. When bees have an opportunity to get easy honey and there's not blooms and stuff in the woods for them to go grab, they are going to get what they can. So I believe what happened is I opened those hives, I created possibly a robbing situation. That combined with the stress of the mites, unfortunately, I guess those 2 hives just could not handle the stress, which is a shame. 2 out of 5 hives gone. Which is really a shame. So the mite issues came along from not doing mite treatments in this spring. So I did them last fall. I do oxalic acid treatments and it really just knocks out the mites like you wouldn't believe. So they overwintered very well. And in the spring, of course, you get a high mite buildup very quickly because there's tons of brood being laid, being produced during that time of year in preparation for the honey flow, right? So mites encapsulate themselves inside of that brood and they multiply and multiply, and there's more brood, there's more mites. That's just how it goes. So I should have been around to do some mite treatments this spring, but I was not. So that's how it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, I am thankful that I got a very nice honey harvest this year. Thankful I still have 3 hives left, and hopefully we can keep those going. But anyhow, kind of a sour note to end this video with. I do not know when my next video is going to be, but guys, I really appreciate y'all watching this one, watching the mowing, watching the bees, watching, what else did we do in this video? Was it mowing and the bees, and I don't even remember what the last thing was. There's lots of other things that I wanted to do around here during this little trip, but unfortunately I'm out of time to do them all. And guys, I'll see y'all on the next one. Again, thank y'all so much for continuing to watch the channel. Miss y'all, and I'm looking forward to interacting in the comments with y'all, and I'll see y'all down there. Leave some comments in the comments section. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.